Hey, Dad, can I go to the store and get a strawberry pop? I don't know. Go ask your mama. I recommend that you overcome your mother. You have your mother's mindset and emotions because when you were a kid and your father left, it was too much for you to handle her. And as you know, you become like whomever you are angry at. And so you are a passionate person. You need to forgive her. You need to forgive her because you have the mindset and nature of a woman. As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male. Beta. You're a beta male? You're a beta male. Not an alpha male. Beta. What a shame. Mommy's boy. As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male. Beta. You're a beta male? You're a beta male. Not an alpha male. Beta. What a shame. Mommy's boy. Amazing. That is amazing. 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 Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
It's okay to be white. It's okay to be white. It's not okay to be late. It's not okay that your mom's so full of hate. It's not your fault you were raised by a deadbeat dad that walked away. So what we like cats, so what we like rap. It's not appropriation, it's just appreciation. It's okay to be wrong, it's okay to be right, it's okay to be black. And it's okay to be, okay to be, okay to be. It's okay to be, you were made to be white. It's okay to be, okay to be, okay to be. It's okay to be, you were made to be white. White. White.
I don't think going out on a date made you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut. I don't think going out on a date made you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker, a slut maker, 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 slut maker, a slut maker, 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 a slut maker, a slut maker, 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 slut maker, a slut maker, 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 maker. I don't think going out on a date made you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut. I don't think going out on a date made you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker, a slut maker, 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 slut maker, a slut maker, 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 a slut maker, a slut maker, 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 slut maker, a slut maker, 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 maker. We gotta tell the truth, and it's the truth that changes and defeats the lie. You choose good or you choose evil. You choose good or you choose evil. It's up to you. You gotta think for yourself. Think for yourself. And if you decide to go with evil, it's your fault. I want to show you what evil look like. They have nothing else to offer. I want to show you what evil look like from hell. Oh, they're from the gates of hell. These are children of the light. Children of the light. Godless. These are children of the light. Children of the light. They're liars. You choose good or you choose evil. You choose good or you choose evil. It's up to you. You gotta think for yourself. Think for yourself. And if you decide to go with evil, it's your fault. I want to show you what evil look like. They have nothing else to offer. I want to show you what evil look like from hell. Oh, they're from the gates of hell. These are children of the light. Children of the light. Godless. These are children of the light. Children of the light. They're liars. These are children of the light. Children of the light. Godless. These are children of the light. Children of the light. They're liars. Is out of Michigan.
Hold on. Going into tears. You're the most ignorant, stupid, blindest fool I've ever seen in my life. Hey, what's up, baby? Hello, how you doing? Hold on.
Earl.
Oh, shut up. You're just stupid.
Earl.
Going into tears. Hold on. Going into tears. Hey, what's up, baby? Hello, how you doing? You're I've ever seen in my life. Oh, shut up. He's just stupid.
understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. It's Friday. Again. It is Friday. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy, and the feedback has been amazing. Why do you criticize yourself and others? Why do you criticize yourself and others? Amazing, huh? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And because you can podcast the show, and because we are heard around the world by everybody, and they mama, if you're black, they mama, and if you're white, everybody and their mama. And let's say you're busy, you don't have time to just sit and watch the show. And maybe you belong to a drug cartel group, or you belong to an organization that sells drugs, and you got to get out there and sell some drugs this morning. You could be listening to the show on your phone, iPhone or iPad. You can podcast, but you could be listening by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. All right? So it's Friday. And on Friday, no particular subject. Just like it's a get it off your chest day, right? Fridays has always been is not what you look like. You're doing what you're doing. It's what you're doing when you look like you're doing what you're doing. Express yourself.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now. But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
Oh, you are not my mom.
I went up to people just doing man on the street. I said, who are you going to vote for? Black men. And time after time after time, they said, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Now is the time to panic.
I'm the first vice president to grow chili peppers at the vice president.
Okay.
Who f***ing cares?
Country is on the wrong track. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page.
But listen.
Overload, circuit overload.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What a mess. What a mess. How did this happen to America? America. It's a spiritual battle. If you don't know by now, you will never, ever, ever know. It's a spiritual battle. The Anchor Baby put that amazing opening together there. Amazing. Really, really amazing. It was funny. He has a knack for doing that. Maybe he's going to be a film producer one day. I'm thinking, you never know. He's still young. I think he's still 20-something. He may become a film producer. You're 20-something, right?
No, Jesse, the twinkle is gone. I'm 30.
Are you 30?
People used to have a twinkle in their eye when they looked at me.
It's gone. You got to learn how to face it.
I can still make movies with no twinkle.
Yeah, that's right.
Put Joel in a movie finally.
That'll be different. A mess. But the election day is close now. I mean, it's coming so fast it makes your head swim. And you remember when Barack Obama went and talked to some black guys and he called them names? It reminded me of, even though he didn't say this. It reminded me of Haken's making the point that Clint Eastwood made movies at 90 years old, Nick. So you got a lot of time. But it reminded me of when black people would leave the plantation of the Democratic Party and the other blacks would get mad at them for escaping. And they would send Harry Tubman after them to bring them back to the plantation, right? And Harry Tubman, meaning the other blacks who were on the Democratic Party plantation, and they didn't want the blacks to escape. And the blacks would go after them by calling them Uncle Tom, the N-word, all kinds of names. When Obama was speaking to those blacks about voting for Kamala Harris, it reminded me of that. Because he's calling them something like misogynist or, and I forgot how he put it, so I can't really repeat it, but something like, I hope you're not being misogynist. You know how the black woman always, she's been the thing. And there has been a reaction, and still a reaction from Barack Obama attack upon the blacks who have decided that they were going to vote for the Great White Hope. Some blacks are reacting to that. And it's weird because Obama gave the impression, as most black so-called leaders do, and the white liberal leaders too, that you are black and you have no business thinking freely. You have no business making up your own mind that you're going to vote for Trump and not Kamala Harris. You have no business deciding that. You know we've been thinking for you for the last 70 years. How dare you to think for yourself? It was really, it was crazy to see that. But it was just insane. And so blacks have been responding, black voters have been responding to Obama's scolding. Here's feedback from black voters on Obama's scolding comments toward the black men. Watch this from Sky News. We had to go all the way over the seas to get this because American news is not showing it. It may be Fox News, but other than that, you're not seeing it on American news. Watch this from Sky News.
I want Barack Obama and every Democrat out there to know, you do not own black people. We are not slaves. Our chains are gone. We do not owe you anything, and we don't have to give you an account for how we choose to vote.
The Democrats then unleashed Barack Obama into the wild to shame us black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's yet to unveil any policies that represent our interests. But if it was a white politician shaming other white men for not voting based on identity politics, y'all will call him racist. Why is it okay for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and all these other people that supposedly look like me? Why is it okay for them to get on TV and shame me for not voting for them simply because they look like me? That is racist, brother. I don't know how else to put it. That is racism. I don't have to vote for Kamala because she's quote unquote black. Just like I shouldn't have voted for yo because you got up there, you tap dance for the establishment, and you ain't do a goddamn for the black people that put you in office. You, brother.
You ain't did a thing for us in the 8 years that you was in the White House. And you think you gonna pop up during an election year and try to scold black men for not wanting to vote for your candidate? Have you lost mind?
Don't mess with the blacks. What the? That ticked them off, and I don't blame them. The nerve, the audacity, the galls of Obama to do that was mind-blowing. I mean, he walked in that room like he really thought that he was the fallen Messiah. He was the Messiah. And scolded grown people. I mean, outright scolded them like Big Mama Obama. Big Mama Obama. It was mind-blowing. He had no shame. And I'm wondering out loud, is he surprised at the backlash? Because Obama disappointed so many black people when they voted for him, it wasn't funny. They thought, for whatever reason, they thought that Obama was going to do something for them. What? I don't know. But they were expecting that. And nothing happened. It was all about Obama, his family, and all his little uppity friends. What a mess. Here's just a little bit more of the other feedback from Sky News.
I spent 7 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a about you.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it, and she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual.
What you thought you was doing, Barack Obama? Boy, you didn't step out there. All you did was black men off, bro. Yeah. All you did was black men off. Why y'all think the American people why y'all think the Democrat Party own black folk? The Democrat Party don't own black folks, bruh. What you thought you was doing with that? We see the play. We know, we see the play. Kamala Harris is losing. She's not going to win.
The audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar.
What a mess. What it is, black people are not respected. They're just, for 70 years, they've been so not individuals. They have not been acting like individual thinkers. They have not been a free people like they were prior to the civil rights movement. Black people literally, at one time, thought for themselves. Really. It wasn't like this until the civil rights movement happened. And so all the uppity black so-called leaders and politicians, whatever they want to be, call themselves, they thought that it's going to be that way forever. Because they have been getting away with it for so long. And I've always said, black people are not respected. The Democratic Party don't have any respect. I realized that because when I moved to California, at 18, I started listening to Louis Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson and those people at the time, NAACP. And I thought, because I was a teenager, I thought they were like right in what they were saying. And so I voted Democratic. And I soon realized after a while that if what these people are saying about the blacks being held down by white people, how they're doing so well. Their families they have two parents in their home, they're going to the best schools, they're getting jobs, they have like a white life. But they're telling other black people they can't have it. I'm like, something wrong here. And that's when I woke up. But they don't expect the blacks to wake up. I bet Obama's stunned.
I'm a warrior.
That's what you're. I bet they're stunned at the reactions of the blacks. And the liberal media didn't show all this. This came from Sky News. Thank you, Derek. My producer found this. I didn't even know it was out there like this. And remember, Obama allowed his mom-in-law to stay at the White House with them. Remember that? His mom-in-law was staying there with him at the White House. Ain't nobody ever seen that before. He was living high on the hall because he knew, or at least he thought, he had the support of the blacks. What a mess. There is no justice in society today. Have you noticed that? No justice in society today. Zero justice in society today. No justice, no peace. Let me go to a first-time call out of North Dakota. Vic. Vic, welcome to the show. Get it off your chest.
Hear me?
Get it off your chest.
I was just going to ask you advice on how do you think someone, because me, I'm only 20, and I want to get married young, but I don't know how to pursue the right female.
Oh, okay. And you want to know how to do that?
Yeah.
And why do you want to get married at 20?
I mean, I don't want to get married right now at like this year or anything. I just rather get married young than when I'm old.
Right. And why do you want to get married?
Because I want a family.
And why?
I don't really know why. I just feel like that's what we're supposed to do, have families.
What do you mean, like, you feel like that's what, and I will answer the question as to how to find that. But where do you get this idea that is what you're supposed to do?
God, the Bible.
That's not in the Bible, and God did not tell you that.
I mean, isn't it in the Bible that we're supposed to get married?
It doesn't say you're supposed to. It says that if you want to have kids, you can, but it doesn't say you're supposed to.
I see. So you're wondering why I want a family.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really necessarily know why, other than the fact that I just want a family. Like, obviously I want kids and a wife and stuff like that.
And how do you know that's what you want?
Because that's what I seek.
You seek a family. What do you think going to happen if you should get a family? What will happen?
Nothing. I mean, I'm gonna I'll have a family.
Let me just say this to you. That want, and then I'm going to tell you how to get it, but that want that you have to want a family is going to turn out to be nothing but hell for you. It's going to be, Satan going to give you, if that's what you want, Satan will give you a woman to marry, and you might have children, but you're just going to catch pure hell, and you're still going to be empty, and you're going to look for something else to fulfill that emptiness. That want that you have is not real. It's coming out of your imagination and emotions. And that's why all families have done that. All those who have gotten married, had children, but they're miserable. They fight one another. The kids are messed up, and there's no happiness, and they're still looking for it. You're not supposed to want for anything but the truth. You're only supposed to want for what is right. And then what is right, which is God, will add unto your life. You're listening to your imagination, and it's lying to you. It's setting you up for a failure. You got to overcome your anger. You don't have to, but you should overcome your anger so you can only want for what is right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So, because obviously I want to get a family because I'm thinking that that's what God would want. But you're saying that I should just seek God and it's alone, and then if the family's what is for my future is what's going to come.
Yes, it'll happen naturally, and then if it happened naturally without you wanting it, God will give you the right woman for you. And you will have a marriage that will last until death do you part. But if you do it out of a want, I promise you it's going to be the wrong woman and you're going to catch hell.
Say less, Jesse. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about because, I'm young and I don't want to have that mindset to where, I just want to have girlfriends and whatever, just to have it,
Yeah.
But from hearing that, it makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah, you should. It's a mistake, man. And speak right into your phone. And have you heard me say, go and forgive your mother?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
You went and forgave your mother?
Yeah.
And how about your father?
I have met
your phone is muffled. Hold on, don't hang up, Vic. I want to let Darren check out your phone. I'll come back to you. Do not hang up, Vic. Let me go to PRESLEY out of North Carolina. PRESLEY, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks for having me again this morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Okay.
I've been doing the silent prayer for about 2 months, and I have forgiven my mother, and I have forgiven my father, even though he passed away. And I'm still having a little bit of anger, and I think the source of that is coming from maybe my ex-wife because we got married and she got pregnant when we were 16 years old.
Whoa.
And we were married about 10 years before we separated, and then we divorced shortly after. So I'm thinking that some of my anger might be from that, and I'm wondering if I should apologize to her.
And why are you angry at her? Because did she leave you or you left her?
I left her under the assumption that things were going to work out, only to find out that she was running around on me behind my back. And I'm not sure for how long, but I just caught her that once.
So you said you married her under the assumption that things were going to work out? I don't know what that means. Why would you leave her and then you were thinking things going to work out?
No, at the 10-year point in our marriage, she said she wanted to break. She wasn't happy.
Right.
So I moved out of the house like a big dummy, thinking that things were going to work out.
Right.
And next thing you know, I couldn't get back in. So that's kind of how that went down.
Oh, I got you.
But we got married at a young age. We were in lust, as they say, not really in love.
Right.
But I tried to do the right thing, and it just didn't work out. But we got 2 great sons out of it.
And did you get angry because she didn't want you back?
I was angry from the fact that I had taken the marriage very seriously because I didn't want it to fail like my parents' marriage did.
Right.
And I was just kind of upset that she fell out of love with me, that we changed, and she was cheating on me. So, yeah, there was anger from that, and I thought I'd gotten over it.
Why would you get angry because somebody don't want to be with you?
I was a different person 15 years ago.
Oh, I understand. Well, here's what I recommend. You don't need to go to her and apologize. Just realize just that you couldn't help yourself. She could not help herself. And just move on, wish her well, and then let that idea, that spirit of anger pass and continue to work on yourself. You'll be fine.
Wonderful. Okay, I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, and don't identify with that anger. Don't ever call it you again because it's not you.
Right.
All right?
All right.
Yeah, move
Great
on.
point. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
All right, buddy. You too. 888-7753-773. Let me go back to Vic, first time I called out of North Carolina. So, Vic, any questions about... Oh, I was asking, so you forgave your father and your mother?
Yeah, I mean, I forgave my mother. Like, verbally, I've told her that I forgave her, and mentally, but I forgave my father mentally, but not told him physically, like in person.
And why not?
It's just more like I don't see him a lot, so I haven't really got that opportunity. But obviously, it is my fault because I know I haven't pursued it also.
Right. When you don't hold anything against him, he loved you. He just didn't know how to deal with your mother.
Yeah, I've been watching your show for like about a year now, and I have seen that, and I've heard you say that, and I've seen that. So yeah, I do agree with that, because that is a fact.
And
at least in my life.
Yeah. Have you what did your mother say when you went and apologized for resenting her for what you did?
She didn't really say nothing. It was more of like I don't think that she accepts it, you know?
Well, she doesn't need to accept it. It's for you, not her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I told her, she didn't really have a reaction. She was just like, said nothing, as if she didn't hear me.
Are you still living with her?
No.
Oh, good. So here's what I recommend. Instead of wanting for a wife, wanting for a family, I want to encourage you to start doing the silent prayer. Watch those thoughts. Get yourself a job. Buy yourself some land, eventually a house or something. And just work on you. Doing your practical work and staying present. And the present, which is the presence of the Father, will add everything unto you. It will be amazing. It'll blow your mind. But that
I hear you.
But that desire or wanting for a wife will only lead to destruction. It's not going to lead to anything that's good. Can you hold on for a minute?
Yeah.
All right, let me take a quick break. Quick break already. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. I read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I was just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to JLPtalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingtheman.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. The Hake, H-A-K-E. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning, right after my show. The Hake Report, and he is on fire. Really. From the ocean to the sea, from the mountain to the sea, in all of Southern California, James Hake is on fire. At 9 a.m., from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And today, right after the Hake at 12, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. I had an amazing conversation with Tommy Chong. He is a Grammy-nominated musician, actor, and comedian, best known for his part in Chi and Chong. What's this?
Next time on The Fallen State.
How long have you been smoking pot?
I'm 86. I started when I was 17. It's the healthiest high on the planet. God appeared to Moses in the form of a burning bush.
Right.
That's the burning bush. I got so much into the black culture that I became black.
Really?
I got so black, I married a white woman.
And so you love your hell?
Well, you learn a lot more in hell than you do in heaven, you know.
Are you high now?
Probably.
It was an amazing discussion. And he's going to talk more about all these black women that he married and dated. And he really did, at one point, take on the quote-unquote black identity. He really did. It's going to be amazing. You're going to like it, I think. And and you can support the Fallen State right there at thefallenstate.tv/donate or locals.com. And at 4 p.m., another amazing episode of the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. Did y'all hear yesterday? It was a mind-blowing show yesterday. It really was. Check it out. The American Anchor Baby. Energy, a genius. A gift from God. Isn't that amazing? At 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then Sunday morning, fellowship. You're all welcome to fellowship on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Doors open at 10:30. rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. All right? Amazing. Let me go quickly back to Vic. So, Vic.
Yo.
So just start. Do you do the silent prayer?
No.
When you start doing it, you're young, and this is a perfect time for you to start doing it. And you're going to see that this idea that you're wanting to get married is only an idea, and it's in your imagination, and it's from the devil. It's not from God. And it's also what you've seen out in the world while growing up. So Satan is using that to make you think that's what you want. That's not what you want. You want to seek the kingdom of God in his right way, and all will be added unto you. Stop believing those thoughts. And if you look around, you don't know one marriage that's working. Because they all had the same thought. Satan gave them the same idea, and they went down the same road that you're about to go down if you continue, and their marriages it just ended up in hell, fighting one another, trying to get love from one another, and all kind of stuff, because they thought they wanted to get married, and it was just an idea. It wasn't even real.
Yeah, you're right. Because I do look around, and that is what I be thinking too. Because it's not the only relationships that are somewhat seem real, or I'm already knowing they're fake because they might be like some celebrity or some of that. But obviously, you don't know what happens behind closed doors.
No, the celebrity relationships are worse than what you can ever imagine. They're not working either, really, because they're all on an ego trip. Everybody want to be the it. The husband and the wife want to be it, right? Because they are those celebrity, and they want to be worshiped. So those relationships do not work at all. So get away from this idea that that's what you want, and just seek the kingdom, and just let life happen for you naturally.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
And there's nothing wrong with dating if you run into a young lady and you want to go out for a minute. Don't go out with the idea, this is my wife, or I'm in love, this is my girlfriend. You just go out and then get to know her, she get to know you, and you'll see if it's the one that you should marry. And then at some point you ask her, if I should marry you, will you obey me? Will you obey? And if she start, obey, no. What do you mean? I'm grown. You get up and walk away from the table and leave her there.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I can't have a wife who don't obey me.
That's right. So just get away from that idea that's what you want. And you only want a return to the Father. You only want what's right. And life will happen naturally, all right?
All right, Jesse.
Any other question about that?
Nah, I appreciate that.
All right, buddy. Let me know how it goes.
All right, Jesse.
All right. Amazing. 888-77-53-773. Let me go to FEMI out of the UK. FEMI, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Hope you guys are well.
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to put my little 2 pence in on what Obama said. Oh, my goodness.
What a mess, huh?
What a mess. Like, when I watched it for the first time, I saw the one that I watched it. The title said something like Obama chides black men for not voting for Kamala Harris. And I remember I saw the title. I said, oh, no, he didn't. And then I clicked it. And I was just kind of watching it. I was moving around my room, tidying some stuff up. And I just kept stopping. I was like, he didn't just, like, he really just, he said that. Like, he really said that. And the reason he feels so confident saying that is, like, me and you might think that would be shocking, but then it's not shocking because you know how many black people voted for him the first time.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to think that he's their God. If he says jump, they're going to jump. And then it makes sense that when he says jump and they're no longer jumping, he's getting angry because he used to be their God. He used to be their thinking machine. And now they're thinking for themselves. You can really tell he's a very angry person.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. I'll tell you that. A very good actor. He comes with this, I don't know if it's like a Southern accent, but that accent, I even think the accent's fake. The way that he tries to be so friendly with his tone and everything like that. But whenever he's been heckled, booed, or somebody is to his face disagreeing with him, you can just see that there's rage. Like, he's like, who is this person to be telling me, the president or the ex-president or the leader of the blacks, the fallen Messiah? Like, who is this person to be disagreeing with me, bro? He has a lot of rage behind it. You can tell. A very angry man.
I just don't. It's amazing to me that Obama went into that room. Camera was in the room because there was, I guess, media there, and telling grown men.
That was the bit that disgusted me the most.
Yeah.
No man, not one man walked out. Even if you're so bad that you can't even just like say that you're leaving if you get challenged, right? If you have to just say you're going out for a cigarette and you don't come back, bro, you better text your wife on the way back. Can you imagine somebody was just trying to talk to me like I'm a little boy? Because if your wife sees that recording on the internet of you sat there with your head down like your headmaster, your principal is talking to you, like what the? Can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe it. He really thinks that he's like their mom, their dad, all rolled into one.
But it also it shows the depths of the lack of respect that Obama
has for the man.
It shows that he doesn't care about them at all.
Even knowing it will go public, even knowing that every single one of their faces is right there as he's telling them off. This isn't guys, can we just put away the phones? This is like this is one of those conversations that supposedly white people be having with their own race behind closed doors. This is no cameras, no recordings. What stays in here stays in here.
Yeah.
No, he didn't even do that. He saw the cameras and he said, I want them, every living room, every black living room, to hear this message, and every wife to turn to her husband and say, you hear Obama talking to you, right? Come on. Kamala's right there. The fact that he even said, the bit that was so crazy to me, and I think if I was there, I would have had to say something, is when he said, we're not seeing the same level of turnout as when I ran. Well, bucko, if you haven't realized, you're two completely different human beings. That would be number one. You represent the same party, sure, but you are two different speakers, leaders. You have different policies. Your parties have had different policies over the years, so you're not even the same Democrat party that you were in, when Obama was here. So it would make sense that there would be at least some kind of discrepancy in the numbers between who voted for you and who voted for Kamala. But in his mind, anyone that voted for him automatically must vote for her.
I would have been like, what?
Why would you think that?
Yeah, what a man.
If Trump or any other Republican, if any white man in any country in the Western world had gone in front of other whites and said, listen, I know you guys it seems like, according to the polls, you guys are voting for my opposition, some black woman. Listen, guys, if you vote for her, first of all, she doesn't even understand you. She's not you. She's not the same as you. She don't have the same mom as you. She don't have the same dad as you. And she doesn't know our struggles. She doesn't know our problems. And if she gets in, she's not going to help you. She's going to help herself and her people. So if you need someone to look at to help you, you better look at me. We're the same. If any white man said that, we would be calling him KKK, Nazi, all of these other words. But a black man can just get up there and do it. And we will just, move on like he didn't just do that. That was incredibly racist.
Thank you, man.
Racist.
I appreciate it. I got to run, but thank you.
Yeah, Jesse. Have a good day.
You too, buddy. He's right. What a mess. Let me go to Ashley out of Texas. Ashley, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you this morning?
All is well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Nice.
Doing really good.
Nice.
So it's been a couple of months since I have listened to you, but the Lord laid it on my heart yesterday to pull you back up. And so there's something that you talk about often that I'm trying to wrap my mind around.
Okay.
And one thing that you talk about is not operating in fear.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So how do we determine between maybe a fear that's external versus the human defense mechanism? So we all have, a defense mechanism within us that says, ooh, something's scary. Don't go that way or don't do that. How would you advise me to recognize, is there a difference, number one, and how do I recognize that?
Well, first of all, I don't understand when you say we all have a defense mechanism that tell you, whoop, don't go that way. What do you mean by that?
So if you were hiking on a trail and you've seen a wild animal, it raises up a sense of fear within us.
I see. Well, that's a practical fear because once the bear is gone, then that fear disappeared as well. It's not something you live with or live by.
I understand. A practical fear.
Yes. But there is a false fear that is in your mind, and it makes you afraid when there's nothing around to be afraid of, for example.
I understand. Yes. Yes.
And that's the one that is not from God. It's from evil, and it's not you. It's the spirit of evil.
Correct. So you're saying we have practical fear and then we have irrational fears.
Right, but you don't live by the practical fear. Like, for example, if you're going to walk across the road, you look both ways instead of just taking off because you know a possibility you're getting hit by a car or something. But you don't live by that. It's just practical
in
fear.
The circumstance.
Right.
Okay.
Have you overcome the fear of the imagination?
Of the imagination, yes.
So
yes.
you have no fear?
No, sir.
Nice.
No, sir.
Nice.
I trust in the Lord, and I believe that His, as long as I'm following Him, there is no fear in the Lord. And so, but I was trying to get my brain to understand how we have what you're saying, practical fear.
How do you know you trust in the Lord?
I have peace. I have joy. I don't live in fear. I don't live in anger. And I try to stay as close to Him as I can.
By doing what?
I read and I pray every day. Having a little struggle with church right now, to be honest. So I don't necessarily go to church every day, but I do have a personal relationship with God.
And how do you know that?
My life is made evident of that. I was an addict for 10 years, been sober 12 now. There's some things that have occurred in my life where I can visibly see that there was an old Ashley and a new Ashley.
And when you pray, what do you say?
Well, I say your silent prayer, but I also, add in, I guess, prayer requests of other people or prayer requests that I may have personally.
Give me an example of a prayer request for you or someone else.
Okay, well, I've been going to a church that I'm not for sure preaches the entire Bible, maybe just the bits and pieces that they like. And it's something that I've recognized, and it's something that I've taken to the Lord, like, God, please show me the way that you would have me to handle this situation. That would be a prayer request of mine.
And give me an example of a prayer request for someone else.
Well, usually people come with their prayer request of how they would like it to come about. And the way I pray for people is that God's will be done, because I don't know the will of God for someone else. And so I don't want to pray something they want versus something that God wants for them.
Interesting. And so you're doing the silent prayer and you pray to God to show you how to deal with a situation, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And you were a drug addict for 60 years, you say?
Oh, 10.
10 years.
Yes, sir.
And
not that many.
I know.
Slow down.
Okay. Amazing. Well, you stay with it. except that you were never a drug addict. You have never been a drug addict.
Okay.
It's just that
Is it that I had sin in my life?
No, you had an angry heart, of course, but you were trying to escape the misery that you were feeling within, the unhappiness, the anger, the lostness, and so you were using that to make yourself feel better, trying to feel better, but the real you have never been a drug addict.
Wow.
The false you were using drugs because you were
yeah.
separated from God.
Yes, yes. Wow. Well, thank you, Jesse, for that. Thank you.
And so stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, all right?
All right. Thank you so much, Jesse. Have a great day.
You too. Amazing. Amazing. Super chat. Super. One line open, 888-77 Jesse.
A missed super chat from yesterday on Rumble. Prep Ham Paul.
You sin.
Indeed. Prep Ham Paul is a monthly supporter on Rumble. He says, I've read somewhere years ago that it takes about 1 month for every year you're with someone to get over them or recover, I guess, to be able to move on.
Yesterday we talked about, there's this report about how long it take a guy to get over a breakup and how long it take a woman to get over a breakup. Some news story was talking about it. And it's interesting. You can get over a person just like that if you want to, because all you're doing is relying on memories. And those memories bring on false emotions, and you think that you're missing that person. You're really not. It's just a thought. It's just a memory. It doesn't take but a blinking of an eye. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Prep Ham Paul.
Yep.
Harmony P on Rumble says, I've watched you for a while now. I think you're a one-of-a-kind teacher, especially in today's world. But what I also see is you keep the division going yourself. I think we need to approach it a little different. We need unity at this time in history. American flag and dove with olive leaf.
What do you mean by unity?
We need to be united.
How?
We need to come together.
But good and evil would never come together.
Right.
So is he saying that he or she saying that you
Probably
need to?
she.
He or she?
Harmony,
is she
right?
saying that you should come together with evil?
I don't think she means that.
Well, what do you mean by come together?
Well, I said come together. She
I
said
mean unity.
Because you're dividing.
How? Didn't Christ come to divide and not to unite?
Indeed.
He came to divide you from evil, not unite you with evil.
Fair point.
Amazing, though. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we'll read the rest of your super chats in a bit.
Absolutely. 2 more hours to go. 2 more when I come back. Straight to the phone and your super chat. Hate news, not the fake news. And I'll be back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They're using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 already of Express Yourself Friday, October 18th, AD 2024. This is the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It will continue into hour 2. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls and the rest of the super chats and some great stories. But first, Hake News, not fake news. Ask to take a nap in a mattress store, advises Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. Or challenge a stranger to dance in public. You're likely to get a no in response, but that's the point of the exercise that Commie Nonsense encourages you to do. Psychologists say that exposing yourself to uncomfortable situations can be a form of therapy to help decrease your fear of rejection. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Commie Nonsense. And speaking of Commie Nonsense, CNN is reporting early voting. The North Carolina State Board of Elections said more than 200,000 early voting ballots were cast as of Thursday afternoon yesterday, which suggests that the state, that's like a quarter, that's almost 250,000. Anyway, 20% of a million, which suggests that the state is on track to come to a close to or exceed its 2020 early voting numbers. Meanwhile, some residents in the critical battleground state, that's North Carolina, right, continue to grapple with inconsistent cell phone service and inconsistent power service after Hurricane Helene. Remember how badly they were flooded the other week? CNN visited Western North Carolina, a disaster zone after that storm. Western North Carolina. The East is the East Coast, where determined residents are even driving ATVs and trucks through the debris to reach voting sites. Wow. The pivotal swing state of Georgia also. A whole lot of blacks in Georgia. Shout out to the blacks. Also began early voting in person earlier this week. They saw record turnout. Georgia election officials say that absentee ballots were sent out by the evil government-run U.S. Postal Service as scheduled and were not impacted by the storm. Oh, this is pretty big news. Middle East, Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, pardon me if I'm butchering his name, rest in peace. He's believed to be the chief architect of the militant group Hamas's October 7th, 2023, what they call terror attack that set off the war in Gaza. He's been killed by Israeli forces. Rest in peace. Prime Minister-based Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu said that Sinwar's death marked, quote, the beginning of the day after Hamas, unquote. He vowed, Bibi did, that Israel would continue fighting Hamas until until all hostages were returned home. In the call discussing Sinwar's death, Netanyahu and crooked Joe Biden, the so-called president of America, they agreed there was an opportunity to advance the release of hostages in Gaza. The U.S. officials said that they would redouble their efforts with mediators to push for a ceasefire deal. We'll see what happens. Hope Trump gets back in so that things can be put back into order, right? Student loans. The evil Joe, crooked Biden administration, which is Obama Part 2 or 3, on Thursday announced another round of student loan forgiveness. That's the satanic kind of forgiveness, not godly. Bringing the total amount of student loan cancellation to more than $175 billion for nearly 5 million people. Leeches, I call them. Shout out to the students. Since Biden took office, more than 1 million of those student loan borrowers received debt relief through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which promises loan forgiveness to public sector so-called workers. So government employees, teachers, nurses. After they've made 10 years of qualifying payments. However, other student loan relief efforts, such as a new repayment program, savings of a valuable education save, are tied up in litigation. Nice. I'm James Hake. Now back to the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Hour 2.
Got to stand up strong think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
My bag, my problem, my fault. What the? It wasn't the staff, it was me. It wasn't the computer, it was me. I'm late. E-Black uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53, 773 888-77 Jesse. And my biblical question for this week: why do you criticize yourself and others? Why do you criticize yourself and others? Why? We have, you can listen to the show if you're out and about, working out, doing whatever you're doing, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, selling drugs, selling people, gossiping, trying to get revenge. No matter what you're doing, you can be listening to the show. Or you just laying out at the beach. You can listen to the show. You can podcast, but you can listen to it on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It is Get It Off Your Chest Friday. It is and will always be whatever is on your mind. Express yourself. Friday.
Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now. But in our country, we need you to be mamala of the country.
What a nutcase.
You are not mama.
I went up to people just doing man on the street. I said, who are you going to vote for? Black men. And time after time after time, they said, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Now is the time to panic.
I'm the first vice president to grow chili peppers at the vice presidency.
Okay. She said a grown man about chili
on the
peppers.
wrong track. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page.
But listen.
Overload, circuit overload.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
She doesn't even know. What the? Amazing. One quick thing I want to share with you, then I get back to the calls and the super chat. There was a shooting that some of you might not have heard about. That shooting you may not have heard about. And it happened at Santa Monica College here in Los Angeles. At Santa Monica College, right down the road from here, over there by the beach. About 15, 20 minutes away from where we're located. Over there by the beach. Well, according to Fox 11 and NBC LA, a Santa Monica College employee is dead. She dead. is dead after she was shot by another campus worker on Monday night. The family and friends had of the college employee who was fatally shot were gripped with grief and outrage as the woman died from a gunshot wound on Thursday. Here's the first report from NBC LA. Watch this.
I just wish that none of this occurred.
Patrick Buckley said his mom, Felicia Hudson, must be celebrated.
My mom was a positive soul. She brought light to any room she walked into. She had a smile that can make anyone else smile.
The 54-year-old worked at Santa Monica College for more than 25 years, most recently as a custodial operations manager. Dennis Biddle was her boss.
I can remember the day when Felicia became a manager or a supervisor. She was nervous to do it, and her growth and improvement has just been amazing.
And that just adds to the heartbreak, knowing she was killed on the job Monday night.
But everyone that I've been speaking with is truly heartbroken, as am I.
Just before 10 p.m., a man who works under Felicia, Davon Darrell Dean, shot her at the Center for Media and Design. She later died at the hospital. On Tuesday afternoon, after a brief pursuit and standoff, Dean was found dead in his car in Hawthorne from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Patrick said his mom knew Dean well and helped him often.
My mom was really close with him.
But tonight, Patrick's frustrated over what he believes is a lack of security on campus.
I feel like campus should be secure 24/7.
Especially considering there was another school shooting here in 2013 that his mom survived.
Wow. You know, that Santa Monica area down there where that college is located, it's a nice area. It's a nice area. And I remember the good old days before they changed the laws around L.A., when they took away bail bonds, before they took away the police, and they made the innocent people become victims, criminals, and the criminals the innocent. Isn't that amazing? You would have never heard of something like that. That was stuff was done in the hood over there in South Central L.A. Now this is happening on a daily basis in the L.A. area, in the suburb areas. Your government made it possible. They set it up so it can become this way. Isn't that amazing? The deceased employee's son was outraged after learning about the shooter's background. Watch this from NBC LA.
He's also outraged after learning about Dean's background. That includes arrests for attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon, and convictions for misdemeanor property crimes.
In his hiring process, that gentleman should have been farther assessed. Like, my mom is at work. I shouldn't have to be worried that someone that she works with is going to take her life.
We asked Santa Monica College if they ran a background check on Dean before they hired him. Superintendent and President Catherine Jeffrey said in part, quote, "The college requires that all prospective employees disclose previous criminal convictions, and all employees are fingerprinted. By law, the college is only able to consider convictions in our hiring decisions and are unaware of an applicant's arrest history." President Jeffrey said Dean did disclose his convictions, which matched records from the Department of Justice.
I feel personally that the school failed us.
Amazing. You see all black people in control of the school. I remember when Santa Monica College was controlled by whites. I literally remember that. And Santa Monica College was the school to go to for a 2-year education to get you on up to the 4-year. Santa Monica College was highly recommended. And it was controlled by whites, and that was all black. Tell me this ain't South Africa. It's mostly blacks running it now. And did you know that they had a law that prohibits the college employer from knowing about the shooter's conviction history? I didn't know about that until this morning. Derek would tell me about it. This is from Cal Civics Rights.
Check this out.
.gov.
Fair Chance Act, they're calling this thing. The Fair Chance Act, guidance for California employers and job applicants. The Fair Chance Act, which went into effect January 1st, 2018, is a California law that aims to reduce undue barriers to employment for individuals with criminal histories. This law generally prohibits employers with 5 or more employees from asking a job candidate about conviction history before making a job offer, among other requirements. This type of law is also known as a ban the box law. Whatever that means. But yeah.
What a mess.
So you can't do it. It's you're going to violate the Fair Chance Act.
So to interpret that, what I believe is saying that you can't ask blacks about their criminal history because all the black people, not all, but most have criminal history. They have a criminal history. They've been in jail or they've been in prison. And you can't ask them that. So in return, you put your life at risk. The government that approved this, they're protected. They're protected. They have guns. They have bodyguards. And you pay for it. But for you, you don't even know who you're working with. Because they don't want you to ask the blacks if they've been in prison, because that's racism. And they don't really believe that it's racist. They're doing it for the vote. And they don't care about you. And yeah, you vote them in. We have a Democratic government in California, and they've been there for a while now, and everything is out of control. Everything. I just heard a report yesterday of one of the, if not the largest gas and oil refiner, I believe, going out of business starting this year. Because Governor Newsom signed a bill that they're trying to get rid of gas and oil, or oil in California. They want to bring in electric cars and things. So now you can check, you can't check the box that says felon. You can check to say what color, but not felon. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Danielle is out of Washington State. Danielle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Danielle.
Happy Friday to you and your crew.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
I have a question. I guess it's kind of a Bible thumper question, but
okay.
I can ask it today.
Yes, it's Open Line Friday.
Okay. I've been working on myself a lot about the last year. Getting rid of the anger, watching my thoughts. I forgave my father, forgave my mother. That was a doozy, of course.
Amazing.
She's shunned me ever since, and it's actually made my life a lot more peaceful.
Absolutely.
It does. Oh, it so does. But I'm not angry about it, and that's the best part.
Right on.
And a lot of it's been just the result of listening to you, and also getting as close to God as I can in the most real way that I can, and all that, which has included, a lot of what you talk about. I do like to read the Bible and listen to sermons about the Word, because so much of the way the evil is described, especially by Paul in Ephesians and all this, is so relevant to the evil we're seeing today.
Yes.
And that's why I find it so it's comforting and interesting and everything. So the other thing I'm doing a little of is going to church. I found a good non-denominational place in the nearby deep red state of Idaho where everybody loves our daddy Trump.
Oh, so the great white hope.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Amazing.
I was queuing you up for that one. At any rate, I really do like it because I like the pastor, but I don't go all the time. And I am going to get baptized on Halloween. And I just wanted to hear your perspective about that. It's water baptism, and also just how to, I agree with a lot of your criticism or perspectives on Christians and how inauthentic it can all be, and how big our ego can be, and how the devil gets in our thoughts about it all. And I just want your perspective on it, if you've done it, and how you approach it or think about it, and how to keep that ego out of it. And
about water baptism?
Yeah, and so I'm not like checking a box. I don't want it. I'm doing it to open my heart, and I don't want it to be this.
You're doing
in my head.
You're doing water baptism to open your heart.
To take that step to open my heart to God as much as possible.
How will water baptism open your heart?
Well, I mean, I've seen enough. I haven't felt like there's a lot of things I have to do as a Christian to get close to God, but I feel like baptism is one step, sort of a formal step
to get to God.
Spiritual, yes, a spiritual step. Do you think that, or
how will water baptism get you to God? Period.
Just the commitment, I guess, the symbolism of washing my old self away. Is that?
No, that's that's within. There's nothing wrong if you decide you want to go be baptized by water or in water. That's fine. It's just a symbol of the change that happened on the inside. But baptism now is of the Spirit. Mm-hmm. It's not. There's nothing right or wrong by doing it by water if you want to, but it's of the Spirit now and not of the water. And so that's what baptism is about now. But there's nothing wrong with it if you want to do it.
I see. Okay. Is there anything? You're going to probably tell me this is just thoughts, but the Halloween thing is that a bad omen?
Well, maybe a sign you might get baptized by the devil.
I don't want to be thinking about that when I do it. No, I want that devil far, far away.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just joking. No, but
I know.
Halloween is just Halloween. It has nothing to do with baptism.
Okay. All right.
So there's nothing wrong with getting baptized by water if you want to, but real baptism now is of the Spirit. All right?
Okay.
And getting baptized by water is not going to draw you closer to God at all.
Okay.
It's just going to get your clothes wet.
It sounds pretty messy. Yeah, it does. And there's like a big long line of people, So, yeah, I don't mind doing it. I'm glad you told me that. I've heard different things, and you know how that can be with our Christian people out there talking about it.
Do you want to know? You want to know who God is? You want to know God?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How badly do you want to know God?
It's the only thing I want to know.
If you want to know God, stop thinking about Him.
Okay.
Thinking about God is keeping you from knowing God. Because thinking about God is just a thought. It's just thinking, and it has no meaning. And God and the intellect has nothing in common. They have nothing to do with each other.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
So stop thinking about Him. Just do the silent prayer and watch, and you will know God. But if you continue to think about Him, you're not going to know Him.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Like a lot you say, it's counterintuitive but brilliant and very helpful. It's all been very helpful this last year to listen to you. And
well,
I appreciate it a lot.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. And I wish you. When are you getting baptized?
It's Thursday, the Halloween. Halloween.
I see. I wish you well. Have fun with it, but it's neither right nor wrong. All right.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm
Yeah.
glad to know that. Can I ask you one more thing? Do you have time?
Go ahead.
The other thing I'm finding out as you watch yourself, you talk a lot about false identities.
Yes.
Boy, those are hard to manage. But I've just noticed, I used to, especially around men, I used to be pretty boy crazy or guy crazy.
Yeah.
Had a problem with that. And I really thought a lot of my anger was around my mother, and once I forgave her,
yeah,
and that anger went away, and I couldn't blame her anymore for it.
That's right.
I noticed, and I noticed, and I understand why you talk and always pat people on the back for staying at home and not trying to get out there and chase everything, because I love that. I love being by myself now and with a lot less people in my life. But one of the reasons I get nervous out there is I do notice those false identities sure come to the surface when I interact with men, in a way I never noticed before about myself.
Yes.
They're not, I do this thing where I sort of try to draw them in and then get them to all interested.
Yes.
And then get them and I do it in this very sort of, I didn't know this about myself, actually. I do this sort of, I'm such a sweet, I'm a very pleasing person, just stroke their ego, get them to think I'm the best thing in the world. And then I'm surprised when they're all interested, and then I don't want anything to do with it, especially, I'm just not interested in that right now. And it makes me nervous. But I realize, gosh, you sat there and you just smiled and you're so nice and friendly, and of course they're going to give you attention, but
yeah.
It makes me anxious because I feel the false self coming out.
Yes.
And usually what I do is I just crush them, man. I just kill them. Then I back away and I push them away, and I've been doing that a long time in my life to men. And I would just wonder, is that anger?
It's a thrill for sure when you're doing that to the men, to draw the in, and all women do this. You're getting a thrill because you see that you have control over them. You can use them the way you want to. They're weak and you resent their weakness. They're mama boys. And you just see it. But here's what I recommend is that now that you see that happening, when you do see it, don't do anything about it. Don't try to stop yourself from feeling that way or acting that way or thinking that way. Just see it. Don't try to take it away. Just see it. And the light of God, the truth, will take it away from you. It's just another false identity that made a home in your imagination and emotions. It's a spirit. Those are evil spirits. And that's part of the ego death, is to overcome the imagination and emotions. So just see it and don't try to control it. Don't try to make it go away. You just see it while you're sitting there at the table talking to the guy. Just watch what the mind is telling you and what you're feeling and do nothing about it.
Okay.
That's what God is trying to save all human beings from, is that false self, that imagination self, those thoughts and emotions. That's what he said, let go. Surrender all of that to me, and I will save you from it. I will take it away from you. It's not you at all. It's just something that made a home in your mind.
Yeah.
So just see it. Don't call it you. Just see it, and I promise you, it will be taken away from you.
Yeah, I see it a lot now, and I see my problem with the boundaries, with it.
Yes.
I'm trying to stop myself from doing these subtle things that send these signals, and then I don't want it at all. I never have wanted that attention, but I do it.
Right.
Like you said, for those reasons you're saying, exactly. But once I get it, I just want to tell them, I don't get angry, but I get anxious about it because I don't want that in my life right now at all, and I don't want to hurt him anymore, and I don't want sex anymore. I don't want that to start up. It's so much more trouble than it's worth, but I want to just hide away from it all. So I don't have to.
Don't hide.
Say no.
You face it. You face it. The guy doesn't know that you're thinking that and feeling that way. The people around you are not aware of what you're thinking or feeling. You see it because it's happening inside of you. It's totally inside of you, your imagination. So see it. Don't call it you. Just see it. Because most people don't see what's going on within themselves. They don't know themselves. They're not paying attention to within. They're paying attention without. And by paying attention without, they're not seeing what's going on within, and they're not being made free. So you're fortunate in that you can see it now, but do not do anything about it. Don't call it you. Don't run away from it. Just let it happen, meaning watch it talking to you, watch the feelings that come with it, but do nothing, all right? Don't do anything about it.
Okay, yeah, it's probably been one of the most subconscious things about myself that I have really started to see now that I've been watching myself. So
right on.
Yeah.
And you stay with it. I'm telling you, Danielle, you stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And if you all the way to the end, endure to the end, and you will receive the prize.
Okay.
And God is with you. That's why you can see it. He is the one that is allowing you to see it. We can't see of ourselves. We can't see. He's allowing you to see it because you want the truth. You're open now for the truth to come in. It has entered into you. Now let it do its work. You just relax. Let life happen for you.
Okay. Amazing.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. You guys have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you so much.
Appreciate all you do. You too.
All right.
God bless.
You too. Just 888-775-3773. Justin out of Tennessee. Justin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome.
I just want to ask you, why don't I want to do things?
Meaning what? Like what?
Like this morning, I didn't, I wanted to call on the show, and so I set my alarm, and I didn't want to get out of bed, right? So, I didn't want to go to the gym, or, maybe there's a day I don't want to work.
Are you lazy?
No, sir.
You're not lazy.
No, sir. No,
okay.
Sir.
Here's what I want you to, I suggest this, Jesse. Give it a try and let me know what happens.
Okay.
When you first wake up, you do your silent prayer and notice how right away the imagination tell you, oh, you can go to the gym a little later. Or you don't really need to go today. Or you this or that, right? And then watch how it tells you that you can lay in bed a little later. You don't have to go to work today. You got a lot of sick time or whatever. Watch those thoughts, but don't obey them. And you will have energy to throw away. Just go against those thoughts.
So you're saying it's thoughts, which makes I can believe it. So it's nothing to do with physical energy,
Now, if you got a medical issue going on, I recommend you see a doctor. I don't know about that, but you want
I don't think it's that.
Okay, well, you want that natural energy that comes from God, and there is a natural energy that you will receive if you doubt the thoughts.
Okay. So it's just fake. When I wake up, because don't a lot of people drink coffee in the morning because they're tired and they need to get woken up? So is that just the mind affecting us, or and if that's that, then I'll just figure that. Then I'll just keep doing the silent prayer and I'll work through that.
Yeah. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
Yes.
Okay. Well, give it a good try. Watch those thoughts. Now, you may want some coffee. I don't know if you need coffee to give you that physical energy that you're talking about, but I'm talking about the natural energy that comes from God that will, if you just go against the imagination telling you not to do it, you'll be fine.
Okay. And I have been feeling a lot better. This is stuff that's really affected me in previous months, but in the past weeks I've been feeling a lot better. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Back in a moment, folks. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him, I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. There may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get From Rage to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Come by here, Lord. Come by here. Come by here, Lord. Come by here. Come by here, Lord. Come by here. We need you. 888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. For personal shout-outs, it's that time of year where there are tons of shout-outs that I've been doing lately. Birthdays, weddings, congratulations, encouragements, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Happy New Year. Whatever the shout-out occasion is, I can do them for you. Go to Cameo, Cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And the merch, oh my God. We're coming up with some new merch too. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your afro off and create an Amerifro. Not an afro, an Amerifro. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/merch. Mugs and t-shirts and hats, and we're going to have Christmas stuff up there soon. And amazing, all right? Check it out. You don't want to miss it. Check it out. Check it out. 888-77 at rebuildingtheman.com/store. And this time of year, time for giving. And who else is better to give to than Bond, my nonprofit? 34 years of rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Entrepreneur program, counseling, men forum, women forum, all kind of stuff going on. All right? Payrolls to make, all kind of stuff. And it's tax deductible. So in your giving, give to Bond. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/donate, rebuildingtheman.com/donate, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And give secretly, and it'll come back to you secretly. Well, openly. Whatever. It'll come back. Amazing. Let me go quickly to Tommy out of Denver. Tommy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Lee, you are amazing.
Amazing. What the?
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Is it okay that I use amazing?
Anytime you want.
All right. You crack me up, and that's hard to do.
Amazing.
So, did you watch the interview from Fox the other day?
With which one?
Kamala.
I didn't watch it, but I did see some of the sound bites.
So I think you asked very good questions. And for your ratings, you should reach out to both candidates and try to get them on.
That's a good point. I'm going to have my PR guy jump on it. Very good suggestion. Thank you.
So I used to be homeless, and I moved to Denver. I'm doing all right now, and I want to help. I want to give back. I wasted 5 years of my life, and not many people helped me, so I'm trying to do that. So I'm trying to raise money, and I'm trying to use it well. So my question to you is, if I do get money, what do you think the best way to use it to help the community would be?
By not helping them. One of the worst things that ever happened to the homeless people is that they are getting the wrong type of help because the people don't have the right help to give. They have nothing to give. And so they give the homeless people money, they give them shelter, they give them food, they give them everything but what they really need, because the people that are giving them those things have nothing to give. And so in giving the homeless people, they are hurting them and destroying them, because the homeless people are some of the most evil, rude, don't care, lack of love people you ever want to meet. So what you do is just work on you, and you become the light. You become an example, and don't give them a thing. You're hurting them.
All right, I'll take your advice. You got good advice. You told me about my family. I asked you, I tried to help my uncle and my brother because they both changed. And you told me not to. Didn't Jesus try to change man?
Nope.
Didn't he try to bring him back to God?
Jesus never tried to change anyone. And all Jesus did was point them back to the Father. And those who wanted to go back to the Father did the work, not Jesus.
All right. So don't help him.
No.
Be myself.
Yes. Work on you.
All right.
All right,
I take your advice.
Right on. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Thank you. Super chat.
Super chat.
There's a line open. One line now. Somebody want to jump in there. 888-775-3773.
Popcorn Stump Cake bought a coffee. Jesse, you say every day that you are uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. My question for you is, when you make statements like, white people, you're letting this happen to you in your own country. South Africa is coming here, and you're letting it happen, white people. Or people of color don't make anything better. Do you honestly think that those two statements make people want to unite with other races? Please explain how those statements specifically help with that goal.
Well, those statements are not made to bring people together.
Nice.
Thank you. Amazing.
Zach bought a coffee. Jesse, you still didn't answer my question. I really want to know how Satan is evil if he liberated Adam and Eve from being blind, naked, and ignorant. God does not want anybody to be on his level of wisdom and power. That sounds like a dictating, narcissistic tyrant to me. I know this isn't pithy, but I must ask, how is Satan evil if he only wants to liberate people from ignorance of God? What's wrong with having esoteric knowledge and individual spiritual power?
That question doesn't even make sense to me. Is that a real question, or are they playing?
This is his second time buying a coffee and asking it.
But I don't even understand that question. How does Satan liberate someone?
By giving them knowledge of good and evil.
He did not give them knowledge of good and evil.
Oh, by telling them to take from the fruit of knowledge of good and evil.
They already knew good, but they didn't know evil. Well, they knew they knew good, but they didn't know evil until they listened to the Satan. And once they listened to it, then they became aware of the knowledge of good and evil. And at that point, they thought they were God. And they are not liberated.
Thank you, Zach.
They're in bondage. Thank you, Zach. Call me up, Zach, because it's not really, really clear to me. I'm black and slow, so that might be the issue. But call me and let me know so I can respond to your question in the right way. Thank you.
Couple of diamonds. Evgeny Crosby. Kamala Harris is making greens in the tub while watching church with Jesse Lee Peterson.
You can tell she's never cooked greens.
I can't.
She make them in the bathtub. What the? Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Evgeny. Elizabeth, 3 coffees. Buenos dias, Jesse. Dímelo.
Sí.
¿Qué lo que? I made sweet potato pie yesterday for the first time, and it was delicioso.
Wow. Good.
My husband said it
Thanksgiving is coming up. I want sweet potato pie and candy yams.
Nice. My husband said it was so good he almost left so he could go slap his mama. LM blank O. Feliz Viernes.
That's right.
Bendiciones.
Amazing. Thank you. I can taste it now. I wish you were my neighbor. I'll come over and get a piece.
Fight Against Global Homo on X says, I want what is right. I want justice. And continually saying that not happening makes me angry.
Well, there is no justice in society. There's no justice in society. So stop wanting. You ain't going to get it out there. That's for sure. Thank you.
And Ronnie from Ohio bought a coffee. Uncle Jesse, fill in the blank. A person who gets angry and emotional is...
Beta.
Nice. Kid Combo 1.0 with a diamond.
Thank you, Ronnie.
And it's just my imagination.
Running away with me.
Santa Claus emoji.
It was just my imagination. Running away with me. Amazing.
Truth for Jesus bought a coffee. Thank you, Kid Combo.
Thank you.
Truth for Jesus bought a coffee. Brothers, if you black. Gentlemen, if you're white. The caller today, let the caller today be a lesson. Stop simping.
Amazing. Brother. That's amazing. I remember, when I was growing up, I don't remember black people calling each other brother.
Oh, no?
No. I think that came about as a result of the Civil Rights Movement, too.
Probably.
When they all started identifying, not all, but most of them, not all, but most started to identify with one another as brothers. Because prior to that, the older people knew we weren't brothers. They're like, don't play with them.
Right.
Those are people bad. So I think that's a new thing, too.
When they stopped having real families.
If you notice, you don't hear me calling anyone brothers.
True.
Unless I'm playing around. Because that wasn't in my generation.
Yeah.
That's a made-up thing to control the people. You heard Obama said brothers. That's a form of controlling. Amazing. Thank you.
Boulevard bought 3 coffees. God is dispassionate. We should live that way. It's just a thought. Thought bubble emoji.
That's right. God is not a passionate God. God is a dispassionate God. Satan is a passionate God for those who worship him. Amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. Let me go quickly to Daniel, a first-time caller out of Tennessee. Thank you all for your support. Daniel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I have a question about forgiving my parents. So I started listening to you within this past year, and I decided to go talk to my parents and forgive them and do that whole thing. And I live here in Tennessee. I've been here about 5 years. They're back in California, though, and I had made amends to them prior, several years back, because I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Come back to your phone, Daniel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, sorry about that. I had made amends several years back for some specific things in my recovery process. I'm in a 12-step program, and I had never heard about apologizing for being angry, like beyond just specific things, until I heard you, and that resonated with me, and so I decided to try that out, and I did that. But I don't know if I'm overthinking this or not. I wanted to get your thoughts, but because they're in California and I'm in Tennessee, I did it over the phone, and I know you said that there's something to be said about going face-to-face as opposed to over the phone. So I don't know if I kind of rushed it and I need to do something more, or or if that would just be overkill at this point. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, if you've done it by phone, you're fine. It's okay. It's not wrong or right to do it by phone. It's just best to, if you can, face them, especially with the mother, to face them so you can get your courage back. Because most men and women are afraid of their mothers and their grandmothers, if the grandmother raised them, but they're afraid of their mothers. So if you can face her and while shaking in your boots, forgive her, it help to overcome that fear. But if you can't and you have to do it by phone, it's no problem. There's nothing wrong with that. So you are overthinking it. Just move on now.
Okay. And I'm going. I appreciate that, and I'm going back to visit next week actually. So that's why one of the reasons I was calling. I don't know if I need to bring it up again or if I should just let it be and move forward.
Well, don't plan to or not to. Just go and have a wait and see. And if it comes up, you see that you need to do it, say it again, you will, but don't plan to. You're fine. Stay away from the thoughts about this now.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Thank you, sir.
What did your mother say when you went and forgave her? What do you call her?
She was actually really cool about it. She's still got her issues, but she owned her part in things, and she appreciated me. She didn't get mad or anything. I think she kind of has a tendency to go back and forth and be kind of overly apologetic about things sometimes, and that can kind of become manipulative on her part too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But, so I try to not fall for that trap too much, but she was pretty cool about it, and I still try to keep a healthy distance from her because she doesn't really want to change much.
When you go home, and God forbid, but if she brings it up, keep apologizing, tell her, stop trying to manipulate me. I see what you're trying to do. I'm not going to play that game with you, Mom. Go sit down.
Yeah, okay.
Really, don't, because you're not her baby, you're not her boy, you're not her son. You're a grown individual man now, so you got to correct the devil when you see it.
Oh, okay.
And just don't be angry, but don't let her manipulate you because she's getting a thrill from that.
Oh, okay. So it's okay to kind of, I don't know. I guess I get a little unsure of myself when I try to correct people. Do you feel like it's my place to do that now, or should I kind of just let people be how they are?
Yeah, you let people be how they are. You're not trying to change your mother at all or anyone else, but when you see that she's trying to manipulate you by pretending, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I really did you bad, oh, blah, blah, blah. You just correct her and let her know, I see the game that you're playing right now. I'm not going to fall for it. Cut it out.
Okay. All right.
Are you able to speak up to her in that way?
I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I'm gonna.
Well, you're not gonna get there until you do it. And
I mean, to be honest, I honestly just I don't really enjoy her company, so I don't really reach out to talk or.
So why are
spend
you
much
going
time
to
with her.
visit then?
Well, I have other family that I'm seeing. I actually didn't even tell her I'm coming yet. I don't even know if I'm going to go see her. But I'm seeing other family.
Oh, okay.
But I have the option to see them if I needed to.
Right on. But just don't, so if you do see her, don't get angry and you just focus on you now and live your life. You are your world, and in no way at all are you responsible for someone else's world. They have a right to stay in their hell and live however way they want to, and don't judge them.
Got it. Okay. All right. Will do.
All right, man. I wish you well.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it.
All right. 888-7753-773. You missed one super chat.
Super chat.
Super.
Super chats.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, someone says, wow, the old church service posted yesterday, a couple of days ago, I guess, about the past was great.
Amazing.
I 100% judge my past as good. In fact, I judge it as really good, and I didn't see I was doing that. Wow. Thanks, Jesse.
I once was blind, but now I see. You want to see. That's why you stay present. All right? Oh, amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys.
Right on. Oh, amazing. Angie is a first-time caller out of Washington State. Angie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, sir.
Hey, Angie.
Hi. I just need some stern advice to get my ass back on the right path because
right.
I have strayed.
Okay.
Yes. I've discovered really good drugs again, and I'm too old, and it's taking me nowhere but down.
So you're doing drug again, you say?
Out of the blue, it appeared in front of me, and I had no willpower.
And how old are you?
Oh, my gosh. I'll be half a century in November.
You'll be 50 in November?
Yeah.
And how old are you today?
49.
Oh. How come when I ask people how old they are, they always tell me how old they're going to be?
Well, because I'm getting used to saying 50. I'm practicing.
And so what type of drugs are you using?
Oh, my gosh. This Washington, I'm from Dover, Delaware. This shit's not around there, but the meth here is amazing, and I'm too old for this. And I'm just killing myself slowly.
And are you on meth right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
But if it was here, I would be, yes.
You would be?
Yes.
And when the last time you took some?
About a week and a half ago.
And what did it feel like to be high a week and a half ago?
Well, I'm very diabetic, and I live alone with my cat, and I have one leg, and it felt like I was dying because I wasn't taking my meds, and I wasn't sleeping or eating, or it was awful.
Why do you hate yourself so much?
I do not know this. See, that's why I called you. You tell me, why do I hate myself so much? Why am I doing this again?
I'll tell you. Can you hold? Let me take a break.
Definitely.
When I come back, I'll come straight to you, all right?
Straight to me.
888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. Quick break. The hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news is coming up. And I'll be back in a moment. One more hour to go. Open line Friday after this break. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Some serious mess going on in the world. Climate pollution propaganda. Liam Payne died. He fell off. I'm sorry. Sort of a pun. But anyway, the Girl Scouts could soon triple their membership fees. Good riddance. Who cares? And Beyonce's father has breast cancer, according to Cameo Nonsense Network. And based Elon Musk is talking about mail-in voting. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Friday, October 18th, 2024 AD. There is one line open. You can call in right now to get on hold, to get on air with JLP, and he will be right back to your calls. Ladies and gents, hang tight. But first, fake news on fake news. Cameo Nonsense Network, CNN reports the so-called Supreme Court this week allowed the evil EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, to enforce temporarily their rules regulating planet-warming pollution from power plants. The so-called justices denied an emergency request from more than 20 Republican state attorneys general, AGs, and industry groups that asked for the rules to be halted temporarily while a lower court challenge plays out. The EPA's rules will compel existing coal and new natural gas power plants to cut or capture, either one, 90% of their climate pollution by 2032. Compliance could reduce the carbon dioxide emissions from the sector by 75% compared to the peak in 2005. So say climate experts, dirtbags. The so-called Supreme Court's rulings were the latest in a series of surprise wins for the evil EPA, which should be disbanded. In recent weeks on the high court, high on pot, emergency docket, earlier this month, the court let stand crooked Joe Biden administration rules that would cut the emissions of planet-warming gas methane as well as mercury. What a mess, huh? Authorities are pressing forward in their investigation, per Cameo Nonsense Network, into the circumstances surrounding Liam Payne's shocking death this week. That's one of the singers in the boy band, English boy band, One Direction. So he's a former One Direction band member. Did he leave them? I don't know. Maybe they're not even together anymore. 2016 they stopped. He died Wednesday after falling from a third floor at Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was the tender age of 31 years old, but he was not acting tenderly. Local police said they went to the hotel after receiving a 911 call. They have 911 down there, huh? About an aggressive man who was possibly under the influence of drugs or alcohol. The public prosecutor's office in Argentina said Thursday, everything indicates the musician was alone when the fall occurred. The prosecutor's office also suspects Payne, who was previously open about his struggle with addiction, so-called struggle, and his mental health, was potentially experiencing some kind of episode due to substance abuse at the time. Whether he jumped from the balcony or accidentally fell remains unclear. Girl Scouts of the USA, it makes me want to spit, they plan to raise membership dues by 240%. From $25 a year per scout to $85 per so-called scout. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's what Cameo Nonsense Network said, and I had to read it. Beyoncé's father, who was on the Fallen State, I believe, Matthew Knowles. Yes, he was. CNN spoke with Matthew Knowles, that's Beyoncé's dad, because he was sharing his personal journey with breast cancer. A man. And the importance of early detection. So, what a mess. Based Elon Musk is giving the warning, quote, when you have mail-in ballots and no sort of proof of citizenship, it becomes almost impossible to prove cheating. So said Elon Musk. I disavow it, of course. But that's what he said, and that's what Cameo Nonsense quotes him, promoting false claims about foreign infiltration of U.S. elections during a solo town hall Thursday, supporting our greatest president, Trump. So it's illegal for people who are not U.S. citizens to vote in federal contests. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show. Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773, 888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question, and it's a doozy, why do you criticize yourself and others? Why do you criticize yourself and others? You can podcast all the shows if you're not able to sit and watch them live. But you can also listen on your iPhone, iPad live while it's happening, doing whatever you're doing in the whole wide world. We are heard around the world by everybody and they mama if you're black, and everybody their mama if you're white. Or if you're flat earth, we are heard up and down the world by everybody and they mama if you're black, and everybody their mama if you're white. So you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad anywhere in the world by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. All right? And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Friday. It's the last hour of the show on Friday. And every Friday is and will always be Open Line Friday, and Get It Off Your Chest. Express Yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now. But in our country, we need you to be mamala of the country.
What a dummy.
You are not mama.
That's for sure.
I went up to people just doing man on the street. I said, who are you going to vote for? Black men. And time after time after time, they said, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Now is the time to panic.
I'm the first vice president to grow chili peppers at the vice presidency.
The country is on the wrong track. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page.
But listen.
Overload, circuit overload.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all, because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
I watched some of that last night. It was funny. The Catholic dinner, or whatever they call it. It was really, really funny. It was very funny. Amazing. Let me go back to Angie, a first-time caller out of Washington State. Angie, thank you for holding. Angie?
Yes.
So you're 49, you're on drugs. Why do you have one leg?
Diabetes. I got a blood infection that went to my bones, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was multiple amputations.
And I ask us, why do you hate yourself? And you say?
I don't know. I'm just glutton for punishment, I suppose. I really don't have an answer.
And do you hate yourself?
Sometimes, yeah, because, I'm old, I'm white, my teeth are missing, and I got half a leg. So, yeah, there's some days I wake up and don't really want to look in the mirror or deal with anything.
Do you have any children?
I have 6. One drowned when he was 13, and the other 5 are just little shitheads running around the country ignoring their mama. So, yes. They're not appreciative.
So, oh, God. So your kids won't play with you?
No.
None of them?
None of them.
What did you do to them?
Well, I had 6. So I finally had 3 jobs. I barely could afford daycare. I'm running around like crazy. They're out of control, not listening to me. So I sent them to live with their dad, but I have 2 fathers for the 6 of them. And
they have 2 fathers? Out of the 6, they have 2 fathers? Okay.
Yep, 3 and 3 with the different dads.
Right.
But I kind of enjoyed the Angie time, and a month visit turned into a year, turned into 2, and then they feel I abandoned them, and I get it, but I did what I did.
And were you married to either both or one of those guys at some point?
I'm unfortunately still married to my husband since 1996, and in that time, he's had 2 other girlfriends and 2 other daughters, so it's awkward.
So you still with him?
Hell no.
Oh, you're just married, but you're not with him.
Right. I keep trying to divorce him, and somehow he finds out, and then he just stops the process, and I just give up, whatever.
And so out of the 6 children you have, none of them talk to you at all?
No, they are all so angry with me for neglecting and abusing. Well, not abusing. I never abused them, but I abandoned them, they say. So.
And why haven't you apologized to them for that?
Well, I have multiple times just to, get the phone hung up or another letter not answered, or, I tried. I keep trying. But.
And what do you say to them when you apologize?
Well, first, I told them that I love them very much and miss them. And, I'm sorry. I was on drugs back then, too, so I felt like it was safer just keeping them away, and I was having fun for once.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And so your question for me is what?
I need some stern direction to get my old ass back on the right path.
You gotta, if you want to get away from the drugs, you gotta drop your anger.
Keep going. I'm taking notes.
You taking notes?
I am writing this shit down.
Okay. You gotta drop your anger. Have you heard me say go and forgive your mother and your father?
Yes, my mother is passed, and I'm not quite sure where my dad is.
You don't know where he is?
Yeah, he's all over the place. Currently, he's missing in action.
And you have anger toward him?
Well, I suppose I do, because he left when I was young, but I was a daddy's girl,
Yeah. And you have anger toward your mother?
She was such a good Christian, wholehearted lady. My only anger with her is that she didn't tell me her life was so difficult at times, so I could have helped. kind of just took it and prayed about it and went with the flow. And I wish she would have asked for help. You know?
Well, there's no such thing as a good Christian mother.
No, she got some really bad cards dealt to her, but she was pretty honest. You know, she took me to church for years when I was young. You know.
Number one, you got to forgive her, and your father for leaving you with her, so that God can forgive you, and He would take the anger away from you. And the only reason you still have it is that you have not forgiven. So you got to forgive your mother and your father. They can, just as you cannot help yourself, you've been doing all these crazy things. These things have been happening in your life, and you can't help it because something else is controlling you. Well, the same thing happened to your mother and your father. That spirit that you have came from your mother. You became like your mother.
Okay, I'm still writing down. I'm listening.
So you got to forgive your mother. Though she is dead, just realize that she could not help herself. She did the best she could, all right?
Yes, she did.
And then the same thing with your father.
Yeah, it'd be nice to actually talk to him in person again. I haven't seen him since I was like 11. But,
do you know how to find him if you wanted to?
I could put out like a thing on Facebook and see if he answers, but it's kind of hit and miss with that man.
You don't know his family or anything? Like his mother, father, cousin, brother, sister, or anyone?
Not personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just work on you. Forgive your parents. They can help you themselves, all right?
Okay.
Because anyone that has anger is a son or daughter of Satan.
The father of lies.
Yeah, and so you're living in your imagination.
Now that I can totally understand and agree with, yes. Yes.
And when you say you hate yourself, who is the self that you hate?
That's a really good question. A lot of me. I've done some pretty crazy and messed up stuff, you know, throughout my life.
And I survived. Who is Angie that done? Who is Angie? Tell me who Angie is. Who is Angie?
Well, the current Angie is getting older, has one leg. Life is rough, but I get up every day and do everything by my own. You know, it's just me. And so I do take pride in that a little bit, but at the same time, it really is hard looking in the mirror sometimes and thinking, man, my kids hate me. I'm single. I'm old. I'm white. What the hell am I going to do?
What's wrong with being white?
I don't know. I'm becoming an angry white woman. I like to listen to your angry black women all the time, but I admit that I'm kind of turning into an angry old white lady. The shit they say, I just want to smack the stupid out of them.
So you told me your age. You told me that you're lonely. You don't have anyone. You told me about your body, but you still didn't tell me who is Angie.
Angie wants to do more stuff. I want to move forward. I don't want to be stuck in my apartment day after day after day. I want to do positive things. I want to make more money. Money is good. You know, get a Cameo. I have these things I want to do. So there's the held back Angie and then the one who's just like, release me, and let's go do this.
So you're still telling me what you want.
I know, I can't answer it right.
But you didn't tell me who is Angie. You told me what you want, but you still didn't tell me who is Angie.
I am a woman that hates being wrong and hates asking for help, and Angie needs to become a better person through Christ and become proper in her ways of life.
You still,
is that a good answer? Did I finally get it?
You're still telling me what you want and all that, but you didn't tell me who you are.
I'm lonely, and I'm lonely.
And who is lonely?
Angie's lonely.
But who is Angie?
The one stuck in the apartment doing meth at the age of 50 with one leg.
Angie.
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am, Jesse. Holy shit. This is an issue.
So what now?
I said, I don't even know who I am. This
Right.
is an issue. Yeah, this is a serious issue here.
And did you know you didn't know who you are?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
And
I did not.
What is it like for you right now discovering that you don't know who you are?
It's confusing, and every second it feels like I've let myself down more now.
What do you mean? What self?
The good self that can actually do this stuff that I want to do.
What good self?
It's at the, just move forward. I just really want to walk again. It's the little things.
And
I feel very crippled.
And so
Yeah, I
just
feel crippled.
realizing that you don't know who you are is what for you?
Well, I believe that is a very big step to discover who I am.
It's the beginning of discovering who you are
My journey.
by discovering who you're not. And Angie, you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not your body, you're not your situation, you're not your past, and you're not your future. You're not a drug addict. You're neither good nor bad. You're neither right nor wrong. You're neither a saint nor a sinner. And so all of those things that you've been calling yourself, as of today, stop calling them you.
Okay.
Don't ever call yourself anything again.
Okay, that's going to be hard, but I will definitely catch myself. No, I'm aware.
Never, ever,
So I will
never, ever, as you walk this earth, say you're lonely. There is no one there to be lonely. You're not lonely. You're not a drug addict. You're not an alcoholic. You're not whatever. You're not any of those things. So you got to stop calling yourself that because you identify with the imagination, thoughts, and all thoughts are all lies. And because you are calling yourself that, you're becoming what you hate.
Right, I'm just like encouraging myself for just a shit show.
You don't even know who you are at all. But when you overcome, and you will if you do what I'm telling you to do, if you do it, you're going to overcome the false self. And when you overcome that, the real you will appear. And it's nothing like what you can ever imagine.
It'll be good.
So you got to stop calling yourself those things, period.
Yeah, I do that a lot to myself. Yeah, now that it's brought to my attention, I do just talk shit about my own self all the time.
But you're not even talking S about yourself. You're talking about your false self. You're talking about you and Satan are one. You have made an agreement with evil to be one with evil. That's why I'm encouraging you to stop calling yourself anything.
I will do that because, he is the father of lies, and I am not going to go out as a slave of Satan or a child of Satan. No, thank you.
Well, then you got to stop calling yourself anything. So when you feel when you get the thought about loneliness and you feel the emotion of what is called loneliness, don't call that you. It's not you at all. It's enough to see it, but don't do anything about it. Don't call it you.
Right. Quit acknowledging the power of his falsehood.
Stop communicating with the devil.
Yes. See, that's why I called you.
And as far as your leg situation, it's just your body. It's just your body. It's not you. It's just the body. And if you stop identifying with that, a way will be made where you can get about, move around. You'll find something to operate with that will help you to get around and do what you need to do, the physical things that you need to do, all right?
Yes.
So it's just a leg. It's not you.
I kind of miss my sweet egg, though.
Of course, yeah.
I like half a tattoo now. It's
Yeah.
a whole one, but
But I understand you need, not to have a full body, but it's just your body. So don't feel sorry about that either. All right.
yes, thank you.
And
I
so,
was going to say I'll try not to, but I'm not going to try. I'm just going to do. I'm just going to do what you tell me.
and the way you do it is by doubting every thought. Don't agree with any thoughts about anything. When the thoughts come, you just watch them, but don't agree with them. Don't argue with them. Don't call them you. And if you get caught up in a thought and you get the emotion, just know the emotion. You may feel it in your body, but it's not you.
And I've just been affirming it, all of it.
Absolutely.
With my thinking, right? Okay.
You've been worshiping the devil, and the God said to bring every thought into captivity. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
I'm writing this down. I really, really, really want to do everything you're telling me. I have faith in it.
And whatever happened with you and the children, you can help yourself with that either. So don't feel guilty about it. You have to apologize to them. Hey, I was wrong. I'm sorry. And that's all you can do. And if they had any decency in them, they will forgive you. But if they didn't or don't, you let them go off and let them live in their own hell. You move on with your life.
I agree.
But just don't be angry at them, all right?
No, they're just kids, adult kids.
Yeah, they're not kids. They're just lost.
The adult children that are lost.
Yeah. And so you just start working on, are you doing the silent prayer?
I pray a lot during the day, believe it or not. I'll hear a helicopter go by. I'm praying.
No, you're not. When you say you're praying, what do you mean?
Like it's like the fight for life flies over the building or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please help whoever's in that,
Forget about all that.
A bad wreck.
Angie, forget about all that.
Okay.
Forget about that.
Okay.
Because you're praying to the devil.
Damn, I suck at this. Who knew?
I want you to go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer.
Okay.
I want you to start doing that so you can let go and let the spirit of truth take over completely.
That sounds like a very good deal.
rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. I want you to start doing that. So here's your assignment.
Okay, give me my homework.
Okay, if you decide to take it. Number one, stop calling yourself anything.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Number two, do the silent prayer every morning, every night, and during the day when you get caught up in your head, just realize you come back to your body, come back to present, be in the moment instead of lost in your thoughts.
Okay.
And if you do those things, Angie, your whole life will become amazing.
I definitely am wanting a brighter, amazing life.
And stop feeling sorry for yourself because there is no self there to feel sorry for. You're only enjoying the thrill of feeling sorry for yourself. It's just a thrill, and you love the thrill of thinking about how bad you are off, how bad things are, and all that kind of stuff, all right? It's just a thrill. Stop loving thrills.
Yeah, like a adrenaline rush or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a thrill.
Yeah. Okay.
And when the idea, last thing that I got to run, when the idea for drugs come again,
I'm listening.
Let it pass. Don't go with it.
Okay. Whew.
So
I can do that.
So do the silent prayer, watch those thoughts, and let me know how it goes.
I will keep in touch.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Jesse. You have a great afternoon.
Was this helpful for you?
Yes. I was embarrassed to call and nervous to call, but I wrote everything down like a good school person, and I'm going to follow it and just believe.
If you stay with it, Angie, you're going to see that your real life will happen to you, not this false life that you've been living.
I really like that. I'm going to do everything you said.
Okay.
Double time.
Right on.
And yes, and I will keep in touch the best I can. You know, I'm just Angie from Washington. So.
That's fine. You call me, all right?
I will do that. Thank you so much, Jesse, for all your advice.
You're welcome.
All right. God bless.
You too. Amazing. It's amazing how the devil has a stronghold over the imagination of all human beings. All, not one that don't have that issue, right? And they have been convinced that it's them. It is mind-blowing. And just think about this. Evil has been defeated. It has no power. It has no authority. It is done. And yet you identify with it and call it you. And it causes you to do the things you don't want to do. And makes you believe and act and carry out the things you don't want to. It makes you judge yourself and others. It makes you think you're lonely when there's no such thing as loneliness. It makes you think you're lost, and you are, because you're one with it. Lost. Cedric is a first-time call out of Arizona. Cedric, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing, man?
All is well, Cedric.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to call you, talk to you.
All right.
I wanted to tell you how I found the show first. I don't know. I guess you could tell me if it was God. I kind of felt like it was God that led me to the message that you got as far as like returning to the Father and everything.
Yes.
Because at the time, it was like 2019. I think it was around just before the election. I remember I was dating this girl, and I was being real beta with her as far as like giving her free stuff and being real nice, and I guess I just thought that was the right thing to do as far as like just trying to get her right. And then and then she just ghosted me out of nowhere. I don't know if you know what ghosting is. It's basically like they just stop talking to you. They just
oh yeah, I heard of that before.
Yeah. So she just did that out of nowhere for about 3 weeks, and then she out of the blue she texted me and said something like she wanted me to do something for her friend's brother, which to me that meant like she found somebody else. She just wanted me to give her that free stuff that I was doing for her.
Yeah.
So her and a new boyfriend, I don't know. But I just texted her back like, nah, I'm good. But as soon as I did that, it was a memory that popped into my mind back when I was little. My dad, he had looked down at me because I had sent my girlfriend some money. And he looked down at me and he said, Cedric, don't ever send no girl no money. She gonna think you weak.
Yeah.
And that memory popped into my mind at that moment. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm in a group chat with my two of my other brothers and my sister. And my sister sent a message and said, asking for me, asking where I was and everything, and then told me to scroll up and look at a picture that she posted. So I scrolled up and looked at the picture, and it was my dad holding me as a baby. So I'm just kind of amazed by that. It's not
amazing.
Like, it was amazing, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like just, thrown off by it. But I was like, I just texted back like, hey, that's crazy. I was just thinking about my dad. I mean, I was just thinking about him. I was thinking about his name, Eugene. I was just thinking about Eugene, and and then they was trying to figure out what it was, and I kind of told him a little bit.
Cedric, hold on 1 minute. Hold that thought. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back right after the break. Treasure Chest is now open on D Live. Better than child molester. I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing. The one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right? Is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? What I realized, it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. Eight 888-775-3773. Quick announcement. The Hake Report is coming up right after my show at the top of this hour. And James Hake is on fire. If you have not heard, he white, he has good hair, and he has courage to throw away. If you need courage, you can borrow some of his. You can have it, and you have a lot left over. He's on fire. The Hake Report at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 p.m. Pacific time, brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv. I had an amazing conversation with Chi and Chong. That's how you say it.
Chong. Only.
Huh?
Chong.
What?
You didn't talk to both of them.
No. But he's from there.
Right.
What is it?
Chong.
And who was the first one?
Cheech.
Yeah. Cheech and Chong. But I talked with Cheek. No, I talked with Khan. I had an amazing conversation with Chong. Tommy Chong. He's a Grammy-nominated musician, actor, comedian. And he's known, best known as Cheek and Chong. Why are we laughing?
Because you're saying it all wrong.
How you say it?
Chong.
Chong. Watch this. Watch it.
Next time on The Fallen State.
How long have you been smoking pot?
I'm 86. I started when I was 17. It's the healthiest high on the planet. God appeared to Moses in the form of a burning bush.
Right.
That's the burning bush. I got so much into the black culture that I became black.
Really?
I got so black I married a white woman.
And so you love your hell?
Well, you learn a lot more in hell than you do in heaven, you know.
Are you high now?
Probably.
It's funny. I've never heard anyone say that the burning bush up there at the top of the mountain where Moses went. And that was Moses, right? Hey.
Yes.
Moses went and got high.
That's why you heard voices.
Right. He said that the burning bush was a pot. He seems serious, too. Because you're going to see, we went on a little bit more about that conversation. And he seemed serious. Then I find out from the guys around here that there are other people on the internet that think the burning bush was a pot leaf, a pot burning. What the? It was amazing discussion. So check it out at 12 noon Pacific time, thefallenstate.tv. And at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. Riding high, not off that pot from the burning bush. Well, he's high. He's riding high off the energy that was at the burning bush, but not the pot. His energy come from God. At 4 p.m., you don't want to miss it. The American Anchor Baby. And then Sunday morning fellowship for all. All are invited to fellowship. If you're in the LA area, come on down. If not, you can watch it live online by going to rebuildingtheman.com/church. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. 4 p.m. Sunday mornings. All right? Amazing. Let me go quickly back to Cedric, a first-time caller out of Arizona. Cedric, go ahead.
Yeah, so I forgot where I left. I think
you were talking about how you met your sister sent you this picture of your father and how you discovered our show and then
right
from that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So she sent me a picture of my dad, and it was my dad holding me as a baby, and I told him I was just thinking about him. And all of this was happening within 5 minutes. Then after I seen that picture, and I'm thinking about like how these things are lining up. I'm looking through YouTube, and I see your face. I saw
and you were like, "What the?"
Yeah, but I didn't know nothing about the show. I just knew. I remember seeing you, and I think Amber Rose, where you was like,
"What a slut."
You like. Yeah, like she was like, "What are men who are sluts or something like that?" And you said, "Slut makers," right?
Yes.
So I was thinking about that, and that's why I clicked it. And then come to find out, your real message, is one of your main points is like returning to the Father.
Yes.
And I felt like, to me, that was like God just bringing me to this particular message to return to the Father and, get back into, trying to leave the whole beta male state of mind and, moving more into an alpha male mindset. So it's helped me a lot over the years. It's just one thing. One thing I could think of right now that I disagree with you.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of what I want to get off my chest.
Okay.
So as far as free will, like when you say we don't have free will, I kind of disagree with that. I think we have a partial free will, but I don't think we have like full free will. I think the free will that we do have is only to choose light or darkness. And I think and then once you choose that light or darkness, whatever happened to you while you're in the light or while you're in the darkness, you don't have any control per se over that. You can go as far deep into the darkness as the darkness can go. Or if you choose to stay in the light, you can stay in the light, and, there's no amount of things that God will show you while you're in the light. But I think as far as free will go, I think that's the only free will that we have. But once you choose one path or another, then you're on that path until you change your mind, I guess.
But you're already in the darkness. Anyone that has anger is in darkness. When you were being a beta male, you were doing that because you were in darkness already. Did you choose to be in darkness?
I think, no, I would say, no, I didn't choose to be in dark. Well, I would say partly yes, because sometimes I knew that I was doing wrong. I knew that I shouldn't, talk to this girl I met off the internet, or talk to this girl I knew she practiced witchcraft.
When did you choose to be in darkness?
I think I chose to be in darkness when I chose to continue in a particular way. When I made a conscious decision to do something that I felt like was against what the Bible would say, or what I think that God would have wanted.
But why would you choose to be of darkness? Why would you will yourself to be of darkness?
Well, I think when I was in it, it was probably just I don't know if you ever heard of FOMO, but it's like fear of missing out. Like you sometimes feel like you're missing out on particular things.
But
So
when
you
you're
can't
in the
choose.
light, there's no feeling of missing out on anything.
Right. But I was in the darkness, right? So when you're in the darkness, I think you're driven by. Go ahead.
So if you have a free will yourself to have perfect peace right now and forever. I'll wait.
You wait. Well, that's what I think. That's what I'm headed towards now. Now that I'm in the light.
I know, but
when I was in the darkness, it was different.
But if you have a free will, don't be headed for it. Just will it to be. Why don't you just will it to be?
Well, that was my point. It was like, I don't think you can will yourself to be in. I don't think you can will yourself to be in perfect peace, because that comes with the light. Like when you choose to be in the light,
but what can you
perfect peace will come.
What can you will yourself to do?
To choose light or darkness.
But if you're already in darkness, only thing you have to choose is the light. If you're already in darkness,
right?
So you didn't choose darkness; you were already there.
Well, I think you're like you. To me, I think you're born in darkness, right? You're born in hell. You're born.
Well, you weren't born. You were born into darkness when you were born into a screwed up family. When you came through your mother, right. You ended up. Your mother was dark. Your father was dark, and everybody around you dark. So you lost the light by becoming angry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And now, once you forgive, and God will forgive you, He will bring you out of the darkness back into the light, but you have no control over anything.
But like what you just said, like you chose to forgive, right? I mean,
you don't choose to forgive. You admit that you're wrong for being angry. When you can see that, it's hard for the average person to see the anger in themselves and admit that they're wrong for being angry. They'll justify the anger by saying, Jesus was angry. Anger is good. They justify evil because they cannot admit that they're wrong for being angry, for being evil.
Right. They can't admit that they're wrong.
Right. They cannot. But once you admit it, I am angry and I am wrong, and at the very same moment, you become free from that anger, and the rest is history.
Do you feel like Jesus had free will?
No. Jesus his Father was working in him that caused him to do the things he had to do. It wasn't him. He had nothing to do with it, but it was the Father that's in him. If you stay with this, you're going to find that the Father is in you, and He is the one that's going to cause you to do the things that you do, just as Satan was in you, and Satan was causing you to do the things you have done.
Right.
It was never you either way.
So you don't think Jesus, like when Jesus said, he was praying to God, and he was saying, I hope this cup can pass from me, but it's not my will. Let your will be done.
Right.
You don't feel like
If
that
he
was,
had a free will, he would just say, you know what, I'm going to will this cup away. Or I'm going to will this cup to stay. He wouldn't have to talk to the Father. He would have just willed it to be, but he wanted the Father's will to be done.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like he wanted to do God's will. He wanted to do what his Father wanted him to do. Yeah,
Instead
I
of
feel
Satan,
like
instead of Satan will.
right. But I feel like if he had a choice at that moment to say, "Hey, I'm gonna do what my Father want me to do," rather than follow my own will, which would be what Satan would want him to do. Instead of following that way, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna. Even when he told
let me
Peter,
just say this because I gotta run because of time. I want you to call me back though. It's just that it's Friday and I want to get to more callers.
Okay.
But I want you to call me again so we can pick up on this. It's interesting in what you're saying, but I understand why you're saying it too. Can you call me at another point?
Yeah, I'll call you Monday or something.
Okay, and we'll pick up on this. All right.
Yep. All right.
Give me a quick yes or no. Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes.
You told her?
No, she passed when I was 17.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, your call is amazing. Call me again, though, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Bye. Super chat.
Super chat.
I'm looking at the clock and time won't permit.
Nick LaBoy with the Rumble rant. Morning, Jesse.
Morning.
And crew. I'll be 50 in 15 years, laughing face emoji. What does the great white hope have to say today?
Amazing question.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
Amazing. America first. Fight. America first. Thank you.
See you on 3 Coffees. Jesse, I did the assignment you gave me yesterday, and I realized that when there's no judging, I started to look at myself whenever I saw people doing something or react. By the way, Jesse, President Donald Trump was pure comedy at the Memorial Foundation dinner.
He really was. Oh, my God. Huh?
Al Smith dinner.
Yeah.
I think it is Catholic.
It's Catholic dinner thing. They raise money. You didn't watch that, huh?
I only saw just a tiny bit.
Hey, the comedian was extremely funny. And then Donald Trump got up right after and my God.
Right on.
Amazing. You're right, Sion. It was amazing.
What's wrong with Chuck Schumer's face? Asks Sion. Did he get a Botox or probably got a facelift? ?
I don't know. You're supposed to not be judging, remember? What? No.
It's second nature.
Sion, don't judge with thoughts, looks, words, gesture, or anything. Don't criticize or judge yourself or anyone and see what happens.
I have to finish reading
I didn't even notice his face.
I have to finish reading her judgment with words.
Oh, okay.
He looking like those California white women. LOL. And jealous Bloomberg with a straight face with his nose all red. People don't like honesty, and Donald Trump is honest lovingly. He just speaks his mind, nothing devious intended behind it. Jesse, tell Hannity bring Trump to the studio. He probably will. Very down to earth. Since that they deem you as an Uncle Tom, you probably won't want to come on, then cause more controversy. Love you, Jesse, not Piffy Hank. Side eye. Crazy face.
Amazing. See, I saw Bloomberg refusing to stand for Trump, but honestly, I had no opinion about it. I just saw it, and that little bald-headed black woman that was with him. Is that his wife?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But there was some black woman sitting there. I don't know if she was with him or not, but she didn't stand either. But it was an amazing event with Donald Trump and that comedian guy. Thank you, C.I. But I want you to practice all weekend. Don't criticize yourself or anyone in any way at all. C.I., you're going to discover something that words cannot express. You were not created to criticize or judge, all right? But thank you. The event was amazing. Thank you.
Greenwall with the coffee. When we talk to someone in the fallen state, most people, are we talking to demons inside instead of the real person?
Only if you're aware, if you are conscious of what you're doing, absolutely.
JJ, Lilacs in New York. How do you know who you are?
When the old self disappears, you will. When the not self is gone, the real you will appear, and you will know. Thank you.
That was over on X.
Nice.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee. At this point, just call me Mike. Talking about heartbreak, Jesse. I wonder if Jesse and Maze had a love story in the past. Maybe Joelle is the out of wedlock kid of their past love. Shrugging, laughing face.
What?
We'll just move on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Aries
what
one. Aries one with a diamond. Hakey Bear. Hey. Nice.
Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors on D Live: Evgeny Crosby, Kid Combo 1.0, Games for Rec, Wolf 336, and the rest of the supporters on the D Live crew. Thank you all. And Ang Band Art bought a coffee. Has Jesse seen Lord of the Rings? Wise film. I believe elves do the silent prayer.
Amazing. I've not seen it, but I am familiar with it. Amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you all so much. And the Hake Report is coming up right after my show at the top of this hour. The Hake and the American Anchor Baby at 4. George. Is it George there? Giorgio. Where's there? Giorgio, first time caller out of Washington. Giorgio, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Mr. Jesse.
Hey there.
I'm excited to be on air. I was just calling. I've been going through this issue. I've been talking to this girl that I met at work about a year, but she is still technically legally married, but she's separated, and she wants to have a relationship with me. So I just don't know if I should commit to her or if I should like continue like dating other people. So the relationship's good. Like she treats me well. She cooks for me. She does things for me. Like when I'm sick, she takes care of me. But it just seems like the divorce is just not her priority to like, I don't know. It's just taking forever. So I don't know if I'm like wasting my time. Like, I don't know. I'm not good at this kind of stuff.
Giorgio.
Yes.
Your question for me is what?
Oh, what should I do?
Dump this girl right now.
For real?
Yeah, dump her. You don't need to start your life out with a married woman. You're just taking on another man's problems. And it's just like buying a used car. When you buy a used car, you're taking on someone else's problem, right? You got to fix the car. Yes. When you're married, when you get involved with a married woman, it's like a used car. You're just taking on someone else's problem. And because she's feeding you and stroking your ego, that's not a good sign at all. Okay. All she's doing is seducing you.
Okay, and she always talks about like wanting to get married, and like she's like, "Oh, I have dreams about us getting married," and like all this stuff. And I'm like, "You have other things you have to do like before we even get to that point." So I don't get it.
How old are you?
I'm 36, sir.
And how old is she?
She's 38.
Dump that old woman right away, man.
Oh man. Okay. How do? Yes, sir. Yes,
Giorgio, you're going into hell. You're going to catch nothing but trouble. I promise you that. The same hell she gave the man that she's married to now, it's the same hell she's going to give you, and even worse. Have you spent money on her?
I like going out to eat sometimes, but she does the same thing to me. Like she'll buy dinner one time, and then I'll buy dinner.
Giorgio, does she live with you, or you live with her?
No, we don't live together.
Okay.
But she wants me to move in with her.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Giorgio, you need to just work on yourself, seeking the light of God, and He'll add the right woman unto you. This woman is strictly from hell, and all you're going to catch is pure hell.
Okay, sir. I appreciate your time.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel like it's I agree. I agree with everything you say, but it's just been a hard decision to make because like she's so good to me. Like
she's not good to you. She's seducing you, man. She's messing with your ego. She's gonna draw you in and destroy you. She's like the Black Widow spider.
Okay, Mr. Jesse. Okay, I'm gonna take your advice. Yes,
dump
sir.
that woman right now. Block her, ban her, and be done with her. Just don't be angry. Be done with her.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay, I appreciate your time, Mr. Jesse.
Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I'll give you a call back, sir.
Okay.
Okay, take care.
All right. I am so out of time. Like, amazingly out of time. And I don't know where those 3 hours went that fast. Where did they go? The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake Report. And at 12 noon, a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv you don't want to miss. And at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. And Sunday morning, if the Lord is willing and the creek to arrive, fellowship. We have an amazing fellowship every Sunday. I don't know what this Sunday going to bring. I always wait and see. But a family, amazing fellowship. At 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right. Thank you for your super chat. See, you got to go back to watching those signs. Don't judge. Just for the weekend and let me know Monday. All right. Allison. Oh, Allison, I'm out of time. Evan. Allison out of Nevada. Evan out of Texas. Mark out of Florida. Mark want to know, why do black people like to skate? I have no idea. Ask Joel. Ask Joel Friday, because I don't know. I just thought they like it because it's fun. Cole, a first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. I am out of time. Get on that straight and narrow. Just stay there, folks. I promise you won't regret it if you stay there. Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Forgive your mothers and your father. Mama is not good. Forgive Mama. She did the best she could. And Daddy, he did the best he could. And you shall be free. All right? Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek to ride. The Hake Report. And he's on fire. Take care, folks. Read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to JLPtalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingtheman.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have the FallenState.tv. Ring the bell. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.